Hello fellow YouTubers and welcome to another episode of Gaijin Gaming. For this episode I wanted to talk about Tales of Innocence R for the PS and it was released on January 26th of 2012. However, Tales of Innocence, the original, because this is a I guess you'd say it's an upgraded version of the original game. Tales of Innocence was released on the DS on December 6th, 2007. So the game's about close to 5 years old, which kind of surprising. Anywho, it was made by Bandai Namco Games. However, there has not been a North American release of this game, which is, I guess not really surprising, but maybe in the near future you might want to keep an eye out on this, because at least recently there's been a bit of a renewed interest in the Tales of series, with Grace's F and announced, but I don't think it has come out yet, Tales of Exilia, and those are both for the PS3. So yeah, I really just kind of wanted to talk about this game. So yeah, just a quick bit here about the characters. There's 8 main characters, well, 8 characters in the party overall, and there's a 9th annoying character that's this rat thing that really, it's one of those kind of characters that just bugs me in JRPGs. So skipping that character. The 8 characters you have altogether is the main character, Luca, and then you have Idia, and then Anju, Spada, Ricardo, Hermana, and then 2 new characters that weren't available in the DS version, and those are Conway and QQ. They kind of have their own flavor to each other and stuff. Their characters aren't too horribly, I guess I'd say they're very stock for the most part, unfortunately. I wouldn't say that one character or another is too incredibly memorable. Probably one of the more and there's probably 2 characters in that really I enjoyed whenever they were on screen, their interactions. One, Idia, and then Spada. Those 2, whenever they were on screen, it usually was kind of comical and enjoyable. Outside of that, the battle system itself pretty much plays like Tales of the Abyss or the PS2 port of Tales of Destiny. They did add a couple things, one being this kind of rave system, or rave gauge. And so when you're beating on monsters and you build up a combo and stuff, this gauge builds up. And if you finish the battle and whatnot, it stays with it. The gauge stays. However, if you get hit, or if you don't hit after a time, if you're not hitting anything, the gauge will go down. And it has 4 different tiers to it, and throughout the game, as you are buying different things, you can totally spend points to buy different kind of sets to put in. So the Rave level 1, if you want, you can do something where it's like consume less tech points to do attacks or things like that, or drop more items. And the higher the level, the different kind of Rave, well, not different, but the stronger or like better skill increases and whatnot the Rave can be and stuff. I'll actually show that here. I've got a menu thing from actually a kind of a New Game Plus things. Totally saved over my last one with this. So you get to see the buffed up version of my main character. So yeah. So let's check it out. And looking at the menu here, you have your typical kind of menu stuff: food, items, equipment, your status, rave style, and yeah, typical stuff. And here for the style, you actually have a certain amount of points that you can use to kind of enhance your character. So a lot of them that I use are for like adding to combo abilities and stuff, or you can add feints and stuff, or you can do like resistances to different kind of poisons, or like being stoned and whatnot. You can also add to your stats. You can do like certain really good stat boosts, which would be like 15% attack and whatnot. So next tier you have your typical thing, equipment. So you have your weapons and your body armor and everything. Pretty typical. Then you have the rave, which is what I was talking about earlier. It's the rave gauge, so different levels. And then you have your food. And I honestly never did the food thing, but it can be handy. You assign it certain kind of to a character for different food, and then at the end of the battle you press it and boom, food. So yeah. Really quick, back to the style. To get all these different skills and stuff, you have to spend ability points, and you get ability points through battling, and so then that's pretty much how you get it. Now I want to give a couple thoughts I have on different aspects of the game. One being the music. The music's composed by Nakamura Kazuhiro. Brain fart. And for the most part, I think he did a decent job with it. Some of the music's very, I wouldn't say lackluster, but just not memorable. However, there's definitely some themes that are very, very good that I really, really enjoyed. I am a bigger fan of the DS opening. You'll see part of it at the end, and I'll link the full versions. I put the Vita version of the intro at the beginning, a little short clip of it, and you guys can judge for yourself. But I really, really, really enjoyed the DS version of the opening. The graphics are it's so, but I understand that you're taking it from a DS game and just kind of making some tweaks here and there. It's all right. It's definitely not the greatest. If you're thinking of the Vita being this awesome machine, and then when you play the game, you're kind of like, this definitely wasn't really intended for the Vita at first, was it? No, it wasn't. So, but they're okay. I mean, yeah. So just remember, originally it was a DS game, and they just kind of touched it up, make it a little bit shinier, make it a little bit prettier here and there. So, definitely wouldn't say buy this game for the graphics. The story itself, I think it's nice. I don't think it is. It's not amazing by any stretch. I will say this though: out of the kind of the three more recent Tales of games that I've played, of Graces F, Exilia, and Innocence R, Innocence R is the only one that I've actually been able to get through and beat. For whatever reason, I couldn't really get into Graces F, and Exilia just kind of wore on me. It just got to a point where it really got bogged down. It felt very kind of very plain, I guess I would say, unfortunately. So out of those three, this is actually the one that played through and actually beat, surprisingly. I like the very kind of Latin or the kind of Western vibe that the game gives off. I enjoyed that. And for the story itself, they have this very nice dichotomy between the main characters and their memories that come out from past lives. So, and that's something that kind of brought up pretty much from the beginning there, so it's not really much of a spoiler, but they all have these different past lives, and so they're kind of trying to figure out for themselves who's the real them as they try to save the day. So I liked it. It was nice. So I guess another big thing that I should kind of point out is that the dialogues that always kind of take place in games, well, in Tales of games, and also in Star Ocean games, they're okay. They're not the best. I would say they're a little stale. They're definitely not as enjoyable as the ones that I thought from. Prime example would be Vesperia's. I liked in Vesperia's. However, the dialogues here are so-so. They're not the greatest. Some of them are pretty funny, but for me, most of the characters really weren't. I don't want to say they weren't enjoyable. Some of them were kind of cool, but for the most part, I was very indifferent towards a lot of them. So, but I liked it, and hopefully this game will get a North American release and also a European release. or at least some sort of release in English, so Tales of fans who want to play the game in English can enjoy that opportunity. So, yeah. So I would say at least give it a shot if you can, if it does ever decide to come out of Japan. But so yeah, that's I guess my quick. I don't know about quick, but that's my overview for Tales of Innocence R. So thanks for watching, guys, and tell me which one you liked better there, the Vita or the DS opening and whatnot. So yeah, thanks for watching and have a good day.